As you can read from the title, I'm finally getting around to reviewing it. I never said anything about reviewing this though. I've only said it to a couple of people. That's my gift to them. Uh, I bought this set brand new for $32, and of course, being rated M, I thought I had to show my ID because I bought this uh, when the set came out, 2005. I was 12 years old. I bought it from GameStop, and the thing about game stores, they're supposed to check your ID. They did not check my ID. I bought this by myself, and it was good. It was cool because each of the games were wrapped individually, and the cellophane it came that covered the whole case. Sorry, it's a little worn. Um, the cellophane that covered the whole case, like the box and everything, had like special writing on it, like saying thank you to all who have been with us from the very beginning and stuff like that. Talking solely about the Devil May Cry series. I call this a trilogy because I've never played the fourth one, and I've heard so many bad things about it. But then again, I've heard bad things about DMC, but that one was fun. As its own game, it works. But it can't really be its own game because it's got so many similarities. But I'm going to review the original 3 games. So let's get started with Devil May Cry. I played this one second. The first one I played was the third one. So I played this when I was about 10. So I could say it's part of my childhood. Me going into this, I was like, yeah, I played it the same year I played part 3, because I think part 3 came out in 2003. I could be wrong. It says on the back of, let me get it out. It says on the back, the special edition came out in 2005, so I'd imagine the third game came out in 2003, if I'm not mistaken. That's what it says on Wikipedia. Sometimes you can't trust Wikipedia, but I think, I'm not positive, but I think it was in 2003, because I picked this game up, and I was expecting it to be the third one, and I was like so excited to get it. My friend rented the third one for me. He said, "Hey, play this game. I think you're gonna like it if you like Resident Evil and stuff." And I'm a big fan of the original Resident Evils, and that's what I was expecting. But I got an action game that was really fun. Reminded me of the old beat 'em ups, except for with a devil trigger. So I got the original one. I used to have it by itself, but now it's part of a set. I got it for $7 down at EB Games when they still were EB Games. I miss those days. My aunt bought it for me, and my PS2 was broken, so my cousin lent me hers. And I played the shit out of this. I really did. I played it from start to finish. It took me about 3 days to complete. And within those 3 days, I had it mastered. I didn't unlock all the secrets, so there's still many secrets to be held in this game. And You open it up. There's no instruction booklet, but there's a reason for that. I lent this game out to a friend, and he forgot to tell me that my instruction booklet was in his other game, which I have no idea why. But anyways, I borrowed that game, and I should have looked inside the case to see if it was in there, but I didn't check it like a dumbass. So here's what it says: half man, half demon, pure vengeance. Legend tells of 2 millennia ago, in the darkest reaches of hell, a demon swordsman named Sparta awoke to justice and rebelled against the devil to wage a one-man war to save the human world from damnation. Now, 2,000 years later, a dark figure named Dante, the main character of all 3 games, if you didn't already know, finds clues that the devil is rallying to rise up again against mankind. Who was Sparta, and how does Dante fit into this gothic puzzle? And this game is really gothic, and I loved it. I've always been into goth culture and everything. How the girl I like is a gothic chick. But enough about me. Back to the story. Rise up against mankind. Who was Sparta, and how does Dante fit into this gothic puzzle? Deep within Dante's blood lies the power of ancient demons and the key to defeat the hordes of the dark realm. Somewhere between a man and a demon lies our only chance for salvation. If he succeeds, the devil may cry. So there we have it. Devil May Cry 1. What can I say that hasn't already been said? This game is fantastic. It was originally going to be the Resident Evil 4, but they were like, oh, it's too different. And this was back when Capcom was the company I've always loved. And I love Capcom today, but the choices they're making are ridiculous. They've ruined the Resident Evil series, and I heard the last good one was Revelations, and I haven't played that one because it's too damn expensive for my wallet. So, anyways, this was back when games were games, meaning when games were all about fun and just having a good time, having a couple sodas late at night, or beers if you're 21. But I drank a lot of soda that night, and I still play this game to this very day. It's a fun game. So we start off, Dante is just minding his own business, like sitting down, waiting for a call. He answers, Devil May Cry. What's the password? Damn, no password. And he hangs up the phone, and then all of a sudden, motorcycle breaks in, and a hot babe ends up coming in, and Dante is like, whoa, slow down, babe. And then she ends up fighting him hand to hand. And then Dante brings out his sword, Rebellion, and ends up trying to slice her. She ends up falling down, and she's like, I have never seen such strength. And then he starts talking about demons, and it shows a picture of Eva, which they never really mentioned her name. I think they might have mentioned it in the 4th one, but I'm not sure. But Eva is supposed to be Dante's mom. And anyways, her and Trish look a lot alike, and there's a reason for that, and I'll get to that. Anyways, Dante ends up going to Malay Island. I call it Mallet Island because of the way it's spelled, but it's pronounced Malay. Trish gives him a mission. Go and destroy the demon who enslaved Dante's father. Uh, the demon's name is Mundus. Uh, and he's a big motherfucker. We never get to see his true form, though, sadly. We get to see his different forms, but not his true form. I guess you can say the final part of the game, you do get to see a semi-true form, but I don't know. I just imagine Mundus being a lot bigger. Maybe I'm just spoiled when it comes to devil movies and stuff like that having to do with possession. Because usually when I see a possession movie, the demon is like 80 feet tall out of the movies I've seen. And the devil is definitely something. So, Dante ends up arriving on the island, and Mission 1 starts. I think it's called Curse of the Bloody Puppets. And all the mission titles make sense. Because the first mission, you're just collecting red orbs, which are supposed to be the blood of demons. And I think that's really cool. It was a new idea. So, anyways, Dante's minding his own business, and then he opens up the door. Marionettes are hanging up. We don't get to fight them yet. Anyways, you slice. Nah, you don't slice yet. You go into a room that leads to a cathedral. It's been a while since I've played the game, so sorry if I get some of this wrong. And you read, this sword will empower you with the power of Alistair. And you get your first Devil Trigger sword, Alistair. It stabs into Dante, and you think Dante's dead, but Dante's too cool for dying. He ends up rising up, and no gory stuff or anything, because these games weren't about gore, even though there is gore in them, but no gory death for Dante. So Dante rises up, grabs the sword, and ends up swinging it around, and he gets his first real Devil Trigger sword. So after that's all done, we get to slice and dice a bunch of demons, and then we go into the marionette room, and we end up slicing into a talisman that has the figures of Alistair on it. And we go down, and here's where we verse the bloody puppets. We've just got to verse them randomly, and then it takes us back up. And then we verse the ones at the top floor, where we just were. And then we go into another door, and the mission, I think, ends, and then it continues on to the next mission. I'm trying to go through this game as fast as possible without spoiling anything. So, Dante, I'm gonna skip ahead a couple of missions. Well, actually a lot of missions, because there's 23 to be exact. And I don't want to be here all night talking about my favorite game. Not my favorite Devil May Cry game, but one of my favorite games of all time. Whew. So, let's continue. I'm fast forwarding now, so stick with me. We get the Staff of Hermes from underwater. I think underwater. Nah, you don't get it underwater, but you do go underwater, and you verse these skulls called Sargassus. And they've got like brains on their faces, and I'm like, ooh, that's pretty cool. Creepy, but cool. And you slice them and dice them, and all of them create health orbs for you, so goody for them. And you'll want to save these yellow orbs because they're your continues, and you don't get a whole lot of them. And to buy them, they keep on rising in red orbs each time you buy one. Like, first they start off pretty cheap, but then they go into the thousands, and then the higher thousands, and then finally, I think to 5,000. I could be wrong. I think it goes to 5,000. But you'll want to save them up, and you'll want to save your red orbs. I've got like a total of 9,999 orbs. Yes, I played it that much. I've upgraded everything in the game, so I've upgraded the health to maximum. I've upgraded the devil trigger to maximum, the highest it will go. I've upgraded the Alistair. I've upgraded the Ifrit, which are gauntlets you get, similar to the Beowulf gauntlets in the third game, except for fire instead of just flashes. I've upgraded the ebony and ivory. I've upgraded. No, I don't think you upgraded the firearms, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think you do. But anyways, you get the Staff of Hermes and one of the mirrors, I think. And way before that, I think in Mission 4, you verse Nilo Angelo. And there's something up with this knight, because he's a dark knight. You find out that there's something up with him, and you're gonna have to find out about it. But if you played it, you already know. But it's a good juicy story we've got going on here. So, anyways, we get the Staff of Hermes. It opens up another mirror for us. You jump in that one, and I think it takes you underwater, where you end up versing the Grim Reaper women. Shoot their masks. They do it in the tutorial. They tell you how to destroy the whatever they're called. Oh, and my favorite boss, and I wish they would have put it in the Devil May Cry remake, because I love this boss. The Phantom, a giant spider that's power source is lava. And I've always found that monster to be kick-ass. So, after we have the Philosopher's Stone, we go back and go into the... No, I think you get the... what's it called? It starts with it's like some kind of drug. Not in the game, but it stands for some kind of drug in real life. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it's like a big ball. It's white, and you put it up on something, and then it creates like a light to show you where you can jump. It's really fun jumping in this game. Like, getting the double jump is mandatory in this game. And then, skipping up another couple of levels, we go inside a monster. I think it's in this one and in the third one. I know for a fact it's in the third one too, but I don't know about this one. I think you go inside Nightmare, which is this big glob of... It's a glob of nightmarish goo. And after you defeat him, you go into hell. Well, a form of hell. I use air quotes around that. And we're just fighting off demons left and right, trying to get to Mundus. And when you finally get to Mundus, you find out that Trish is not who she seems to be, but you kind of see it coming. But anyways, Mundus kills her, or so we think. And Mundus puts up one hell of a good fight, and the final version of Dante's Devil Trigger is unleashed. And boy, God in heaven, is it awesome. He throws out a dragon that ends up attacking Mundus, and you have to verse Mundus 3 times. The first time is up in space. The second time is he's a giant, and you're just a little character that has to keep using your devil trigger. You get your dad's sword, Sparta, which is a big scythe when you throw it. And you use that, and it takes down Mundus's health tremendously. And I'm not spoiling the ending, I'm just giving you a strategy. It's pretty easy to figure out, especially on the easy automatic difficulty. Whew, running out of breath. So anyways, after you've defeated Mundus, you've still got one obstacle left, and that's where I'll draw the line. Let you find out yourself. Hopefully, for those who haven't played this, go out, check this out. They got an HD remake of all 3 of them in one disc. So hopefully you all check this game out and the 2 sequels. Again, I'm not counting the 4th one because I've never played it. I will eventually. It's only $12 down at GameStop. I might pick it up at some point. So anyways, what do I give Devil May Cry? That's the little yellow orb I was telling you about. The first Devil May Cry, I'm gonna give it a solid 8 out of 10. I find no problems with it, but what stops it from getting a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 is the game was a little short. Like, even though there are 23 missions, I felt like the game could have gone on much longer. But 23 missions is enough, but at the same time it's not enough, if that makes sense. Like I said, I felt like the game could have gone on longer. And it's filled to the brim with a bunch of enemies, and so if you like a variety of different demonic enemies, you'll definitely enjoy this game. So anyways, it gets an 8 out of 10, a badass seal of approval from me, taking a little something from Angry Joe, a badass seal of approval from me, and to top it off, I'll show you Trish. Yeah. Really pretty, isn't she? Even for a game character. And here is the sword, Alistair. It might be Rebellion, I can't really remember, but I think it's Alistair. The sword that gives you lightning powers, so you can see right there. The Devil Trigger is really fun to use too. It upgrades your health. Well, it doesn't upgrade it, but it slowly refills your health. And when you're fighting the enemies, it takes away a lot of their health. So, anyways, I'll be back probably tomorrow with a review over the much hated Devil May Cry 2. I liked the game, but it's got a lot of problems. And I'll get to it when I get around to reviewing it. So, 8 out of 10 hatchets. Definitely pick it up. So, I'm out, and I'll catch you later.